discuss setting up RAID modes on a 2-drive Buffalo LinkStation or TeraStation NAS device. To do this, we need to get into the admin UI, which is best done through Buffalo's NAS Navigator software, which will probably already be installed on your PC or Mac. You can double-click on that and access your device once it finishes its scan. Alternatively, you can type in the IP address or hostname directly into a web browser and log in that way. Once it shows up, you can right-click on it and click the Open Web Settings button, and a browser will open and automatically point you to the admin UI. The default username for root login is admin, and then the password is password. So unless you've already changed that, you can type in admin and password. That'll log you into your user interface for the LinkStation or TeraStation device. The unit that we're using is a 2-drive LinkStation device, but the TeraStation process will basically be exactly the same. You'll go to the System option to get into the disk and RAID mode, and then select the Storage tab. And this will bring up all of your disk and RAID information. So this is a 2-drive unit, so you can see both of our 2-disk drives in here. Now by default, this particular device ships in RAID 0, so most of our users actually ship to RAID 1 because it provides you that disk mirroring redundancy that RAID 0 does not. So it protects your data a lot more. So actually to start, we need to delete the existing RAID array. And all Buffalo NAS devices do ship with a default RAID array, so you will have to delete them if you want to change the mode. To do that, you'll select on the array and the RAID array areas. So you can scroll down here, and this device has one RAID array, it's RAID 0. Go and click on that, and then we have this option to delete the RAID array. So by clicking on that, we can start that process. Now, I'll warn you, as well as all the screens will, that deleting a RAID array will delete all the information on your disk, or your disks. So if you do this, you better have a backup of the data that's on there, or make sure that you don't need any of the data that's on there. You will have to type in the confirmation number, which is just a random number, to make sure you definitely want to blow out the RAID array. Once doing that, it'll verify the number, and then it'll start the deletion of the RAID array. Once it's deleted, we'll go ahead and create a new one. So this process may take about a minute. Okay, now that the process is done, you'll be sent back to the default folder setup area, and you'll see that there's no shares there anymore. You'll also see that both disks are in raw native mode. So now we need to create the RAID array, which is actually done the same exact way as we just deleted it. Go into the System tab and then click on the Storage tab. And you'll see that there'll be no RAID arrays present in the RAID array box. So there is this default one that's basically not configured. So we'll click on this one, which is called Array 1 in this case. It'll scan for all of your disks. We'll use this drop-down menu to toggle which RAID mode. So in this case, we want to go to RAID 1. So we'll select RAID 1, and then we can individually check the disks, or we can use this master check all. We'll press the Create RAID Array button. We'll verify that we want to do that across disks 1 and 2, and we'll type in the random verification code again, and it'll take again a moment or two for the RAID array to set up. So you'll go through a process to set it up. So now the RAID array is created. You can see we have one array that's, in this case, just under a terabyte, and these have terabyte drives in them. You'll also notice you're back in the folder setup. Because we erased all the information on the array, there will not be any shared data there. So maybe a good first step would be to create the default share again, or whatever share that you want. I will advise that after a RAID array is created, the Buffalo device in the background will do a RAID scan just to make sure the integrity of the RAID array is there. That does happen in the background, and you can continue to use your device as you'd like. You can inspect the status of that by going back to the System and Storage option and looking at your RAID array, which will be in a mode called checking. And if you scroll far to the right, you can see what progress that's at. So again, this runs in the background, and it may have a minimal impact on your device's performance until it's complete. But you can more or less ignore that. Once it's done, the yellow light on the front of the device that might be blinking will also shut off, and that just makes sure that your RAID array is set up. So that's how to set up a RAID array on a Buffalo 2-drive NAS system.